It's been a fun year for SNL.
Oh my goodness.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Incredible.
Incredible.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Like, you don't really like have it in the forefront of your mind that Maya and Andy and Dana Carvey and those people were like there at the beginning of this season.
Yeah.
You're like, all that was this year. That was wild. Yeah, and then let alone the 50th and all that, it's just wild.
Yeah.
What a great season.
I'm sure you get this question a lot, but is it still just as much fun as it was day one?
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's even more so for me because, I'm very used to it. You know what I mean? And like, I know kind of like indicators of stress, things, little triggers, you know what I mean? I can kind of see those things coming a little further away so I can like intercept them and stuff like that. But I just have a love for it. I have a love for the people there.
Yeah.
I have a love for doing it. And yeah, I'm just pretty good at it at this point.
You are,
you know what I
right?
mean?
It's like second nature.
Yeah, a little
I was
bit.
going to say, so since you are so good at it, you've been doing this for so long, do you ever get nervous anymore?
I still get nervous.
Do
yeah,
you?
before
Is there like
every show.
before every show, really?
Yeah, every single show. It just is what it is. I think I've talked to different people about it. You know, I'm like, what it like, especially stand-ups, because to me, like, stand-up comedy is the craziest thing ever. You know what I mean? Like, as far as like, it's just you versus everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So like, how do you not get nervous for that? Or if you do, how do you continue to show up for that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just. Leslie Jones told me, she was like, it just means that you care, you know what I mean?
True.
And I was like, oh, look at that perspective, you know what I mean? And like, approach it from that kind of standpoint. So it's like, yeah, I try to turn the butterflies into adrenaline and like all those kind of like mental notes or whatever. Yeah, it seems to work pretty good.
Yeah, I was going to ask if there was anything specific that you do to kind of calm the nerves, anything that you say to yourself before you
Well,
start
luckily
a show?
I get my jitters out early with the warm-up.
With the warm-up,
like,
yeah.
I get to be in front of the audience and
Yeah.
I actually get to shake that whole, like whatever that taboo of, being in front of people or, imagining them in their undies or whatever kind of stuff. I just get all that like nonsense out of my mind like early because I really do something I'm singing in front of these people kind of forcefully, you know what I mean? It's not like, it's a Steely Dan concert and I'm part of Steely Dan, so that makes sense. It's like they're coming to see comedy and then they have to sit through us singing this song at them kind of thing, so it needs to be good.
Sure.
So there are all those kind of factors to be nervous about, so I can kind of like shake it out to music, thank goodness.
I know Jack Black just said that he's having like night terrors in lead
I
up
believe
to
it.
his
Because
return.
he cares.
Yes,
because
because
he's such a good dude. And yeah, he's just the best. He's my first host.
Oh, was he
Yeah,
really? Oh my
yeah.
God, now full circle moment.
Super duper. And it couldn't be with a better person. So, yeah.
Yeah. What advice do you have to him for calming these night terrors?
Relax.
Yeah. You got this.
Relax. No, he's a super talent, and I think with that talent comes the burden of topping yourself and stuff like that. But, he has a smart approach to it, so there's just a lot of thinking involved, I think. Comedy's hard to do, so I think if he can not overwhelm himself with second guessing and like stick to instinct, I think he'll be fine. Yeah.
Do you ever feel like you still have something to prove and things like that?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like I wish I was a better writer, like by myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I write with the writers, and thank God we have brilliant writers. But yeah, if I was able to like sit down and make a sketch make sense by myself, I think that would be my graduating degree.
Yeah. I'm sure you get it all the time, a question as well, the one host musical guest that you would love to just work with nonstop. If you could just pick one for the rest of your life, to just pick one, who would it be?
Tom Hanks, I think, host-wise and musical guest, it would be Outkast. Bring Outkast back.
Yes, bring Outkast back.
And make them perform every week.
What is it about Tom Hanks that you love so much?
It's just the departure from expectation and reality. You know what I mean? Like you expect him to be like a little standoffish because he's such a big star, but it couldn't be more opposite. Like he's so embracing and so nice and just giving and dedicated to the craft. Like he will dedicate to your sketch like it was Forrest Gump. You know what I mean? Like, and that is just beyond flattering. It's just amazing and almost terrifying to witness at first, you know, like when those kinds of people like call you by your first name, it's just like, yo, you're Tom Hanks, you know what I'm saying? Like, stop trying to act like you know Kenan, you know what I mean? Like, but that's just who he is. He's a real one. So, and on top of being insanely talented.
Yeah, it's a good choice.
Yeah.
When you had so many people come back for SNL 50, was there anybody that you tried to convince, be like, you should maybe come back full time? We love to have you here.
Eddie Murphy. Yeah. Did you see him out there? Like Eddie Murphy was on 10 on the 50th, man. He was doing the most. Tracy Morgan impressions. He did a Scared Straight. Oh my God, it was an amazing weekend. Like that was wild. But yeah, it was really cool to see the legendary veterans come to play. You know what I mean? There's so many vets, but like the ones that are just like insane as far as like where their careers have gone outside of the show, and then they come back and it's just like, oh yeah, you know, if you didn't have that stardom, you would still be this person with this talent kind of thing. Even if it was local theater or whatever, that's what you would be getting from that person. And it was like, he's in his 60s, you know what I mean? He doesn't have to try it. That's it's Eddie Murphy.
Right.
You know, he could relax if he wanted to, but he wanted to give. So I'm just thankful that, you know, we were able to be there to receive it, man. You know what I mean? Like in such a setting where it allowed him to be comfortable, allowed Will Ferrell to be comfortable to jump in there and like hike his shorts up and like all of that good stuff. Like it was just good stuff. Bill Murray crushing it on Update.
Who always made you break character? Because I was looking at old clips of like you and like Pete Davidson, and he would always laugh with you and things like that.
Yeah, lots of people. Like, because I try not to treat it like such a job. You know what I mean? Like when it gets too serious, that's when it feels like work. Yeah. You know, and I've always just wanted to celebrate it, like celebrate the now of it all. You know what I mean? Because it's so like if you didn't catch it in that moment, it just doesn't hit as hard, kind of thing. It's just different, you know, so like it's just very special. And I always thought that was something to be kind of excited about as opposed to stressed about, you know? So like I enjoy those who like to laugh along the way. I'm sure it drives certain people crazy because they would much rather see how things play without, you know, us breaking, you know, character or whatever kind of thing. But, you know, we're having a good time.
You're having a good time.
The majority of the time we keep a straight face.
Yeah, you've been doing this for so many years, for over 2 decades. When do you feel like you'll know that it's the right time to?
I think when my badge stops working, you know what I mean? I don't have access anymore. That'll tell you.
That'll tell you.
I couldn't really say. You know, it's like as long as it's like a mutual kind of thing, you know what I mean? It's like it's their environment to employ me at, you know what I mean? So if they keep asking, then I'm more than happy to oblige. And as long as the audience continues to laugh when we do something new, you know what I mean? And it's like, all right, I've been out there like 3 different times now and they just won't give me any sort of thing, then I'll, you know, but that hasn't been the case. You know what I mean? Like everybody seems to enjoy a new joke. So
definitely.
It just keeps going.
It just keeps going. When the time does come, what is the one thing that you're going to take from set?
I mean, a lot of memories, but I think just like lifelong kind of, you know, friendships, because it's like that show has taught me New York, you know what I mean? Like hearing from the crew and where they're coming from, people commuting in from Long Island and Queens and like all Staten Island, you know what I mean? Like I didn't know much about Staten Island until me and Jose were roommates, you know what I mean? And we were office mates for like 8 years. So like just the different walks of life that build that show, I think is like my core memory of that place, like how many different versions of faces create the thing that you already thought you knew a lot of faces from, you know what I mean? Like there's just almost like 30 times more, you know what I mean? Just behind the scenes folks, so. Yeah, it's a large family.
Yeah, definitely. I know Kel was at 90s Con over the weekend, and
Nice.
he was talking about how the two of you are talking about maybe Good Burger 3, maybe have some scripts and things like that kind of floating around. Where do we kind of stand in that, and do you have a timeline in mind?
I wish we had a timeline in mind. What's up, Nickelodeon? Let's go. I know me and Kel are definitely down, and we are, you know, working on whatever, you know, version of us working together will be in the future, because we had such a good time on Good Burger 2. You know, that was a really good look for us, good look for, you know, my production company, Artists for Artists, you know, producing on that. And, you know, it's just, the future is bright, you know, in my opinion, because we're, you know, back to, you know, where we originally found our brotherhood from. So that feels good. You know, I don't really ever really want to let that go again. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to. It's not like it's not like I can't do SNL and do other things. Like that's the beauty of SNL on top of it. So, you know, I already did my whole sitcom run, you know what I mean, while I was there kind of thing. So it's just the sky is the limit. And yeah, I would say there's a lot of Kenan and Kel stuff probably coming in the future.
Yeah, he was saying as well about the Kenan and Kel, like maybe like looking into you guys as fathers and things like that in the next chapter of your
like
life?
Movies and anything to reflect the current times, because we have yet to actually play our adult selves in anything. Right. You know what I mean? So it'd be nice to kind of catch everybody up to speed and then kind of move on from there. But it's been very exciting lately, and since he's sharing Kenan and Kel news, I'm happy to be here sharing news about what's going on with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my health journeys and stuff like that. So if there is someone else out there who might be suffering, and they don't have the information, they can go to the website and stuff like that, talk to their doctors and maybe find something that works for them, like I did.
Definitely.
So,
yeah, definitely. Are your daughters big fans of, like, do they ever go back watch all that and things like that?
They've seen the Good Burgers. They enjoyed them. Yeah. I'm not sure if they've watched the shows necessarily. They haven't really expressed that, but yeah, they told me that they liked Good Burger.
Okay.
So it holds up.
It holds up, but that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
They tune in every week too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're still little, so we have to kind of watch what they're allowed to watch.
Yeah.
But,
certain sketches
the
maybe.
clean things, and they dig it. They think it's cool, and they get very mad at me, especially the big one. She gets very mad when I don't tell her that certain people are on the show. Like,
oh, really?
Dad, you didn't tell me Billie Eilish was coming, or Dad, Ariana Grande was there. Why didn't you tell me?
Do you bring them to set sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes. Especially for like a person that I would assume that they would be excited to see, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like I want to share that with them.
Definitely. Do the teenage years scare you at all?
I've only heard horror stories. I haven't heard one story where it was just like, it was fine.
Right.
It was fine.
Yeah, it was good.
Totally fine.
It's a total breeze.
Yeah, but, I guess anything worth something is supposed to be tough, I guess, kind of thing. So I'm actually looking forward to it because it'll be such a departure from how sweet they are right now. It's going to be so crazy.